Hey, what's up? We're joined here again by Friday, JB.
Happening.
First time we talked to you, we got a little off script, didn't really talk about glass. so we,
No, no, that was my fault. I was a little excited to talk, so
we decided
whole
to
different
regroup.
way.
I do have to say though, we're gonna do like a little mini episode of it because there's some solid content in there that had us dying
There is,
laughing.
yeah. Yeah, we had a good time.
It was
Had a good time. I hope you guys did.
absolutely. It was for the first time ever meeting someone, definitely like we went back to the couches and we were just dying laughing, talking the whole time. It was so fun, so much fun.
Yeah, yeah, I had a blast for
So
sure.
it's maybe it's a conversation we'll hold on to for ourselves, and we'll stick more to businessy professional stuff this time around,
Yeah, yeah. Keep it business professional.
if we can.
Yeah, we'll try our hardest.
So what's up, man? How you been the last week?
Good, good. Trying to get back into work and starting at like 11 now, so slowly getting there.
11.
Slowly.
11.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty late for me. Yeah. Yeah, gearing up to the show, I was there from like I don't know, like most days, like 8:39 till like 10:30, 11. So yeah, definitely geared it back.
How? Yeah, I mean, you still gotta realize too, like you need to take breaks though and stuff like that too. You know, that's physical work to begin
Yeah,
with.
that's a good refresher for the mind. I feel like too, like
Yeah,
everything simmer down and then get back at it.
yeah. You have another show coming up too, don't you?
Do yeah, June 17th. No, July 17th in Nebraska at the Highest Cloud 9 Smoke Shop.
Oh, that's
I'm
cool.
really looking forward to that.
So is are a
Yeah, I'm gonna
bunch,
try and bring out a bunch of collabs for that show, like as many as I can.
that'd be dope. So I know you said Glass Vegas got you booked out for the rest of the year. So like, are you selling pieces there, or are you
Yeah.
just going to sell what you have?
Well, I sold what I had for Glass Vegas, and then I booked orders for like the rest of the year at Glass Vegas.
So you're basically going to do the same thing at this one.
Well, this show is just like a little solo show for the shop, so we're gonna do like a demo, and we're gonna like release pieces to their local community there first, and then we're gonna open up online sales, and hopefully, we sell everything I bring. That's the goal.
That's pretty cool. Good.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
No, I was gonna say that's always the goal.
Yeah, right.
You always shoot for
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Seriously.
So, we talked about last time too, about like your kind of like rise to fame and glass blowing, and you've only been doing it like religiously and really kind of popped into the mainstream of glass blowing in like 2018, 2019. Is it weird? Like
Yeah.
that's only like 2, 3 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, it's more. I feel like more like just like really 2020, like was really like the start of it to me because that's when I started working over at Indie shop, and he's huge in the industry. Well, at least he's a lot bigger than I am. I don't know what he would consider himself size wise, but yeah.
Do you have you ever like taken a step back and looked at it and been like, holy shit, like I'm a pretty mainstay name in the glass industry?
Yeah, it's starting to seem like that. Still kind of, finding my way in it. I wouldn't say I'm like mainstay just yet or like a household name or anything in the industry, but I'm working towards it.
All right. Now I know we talked about it last time, but I'm not exactly sure what's getting released. Let's talk about how you got your name, Friday.
Yeah, so that's that was the first Las Vegas I went to. I want to say that was like 2016 maybe. I shared a booth with my buddy Desi B Glass, who I used to live with for a while, and I didn't sell everything. I didn't sell too much really. I didn't get too many orders. I didn't really have anything on the table that was very like standout-ish though. It was just like a lot of mini tubes and stuff that really everybody in the industry is making. So, but yeah, I was kind of bummed. And there's another JB Glass. Our DMs kept getting like swapped around. And I was on mushrooms for the weekend out in Vegas. I was feeling some type of way, and I was just like, "You take the name, man. Like it's all you." I just changed it to my name for a while, and then yeah, I landed on Friday Glass. Just you know, just fucking doing the same thing basically, like doing whatever, smoking and doing psychedelics and just being like every day's Friday, like. So landed on Friday Glass.
You know, a big part of it too, like you've never done anything like this before, have you? Like an interview for about this kind of stuff?
No.
See, so like we're kind of getting in the groove of interviewing people, and you know, like you've never done this before, and I think like it's as what comes off to unprofessional as you, it's understandable because it's not that it's unprofessional, but it's you know, and it's kind of like the same thing with your art, you know, like there's pieces of you in your art. Just like this is who you are as a person, but it was more so like a private conversation, and you know, and we had, like I said, that's why we send it out before we release it and everything. And I do like we would never ever release something to hurt someone's brand. Like that's not the point of what we're doing.
No.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I appreciate us doing it again. And you guys being understanding.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you know, like we want to. You know, put a face behind the glass, you know, like there probably are some people that, you know, never want to get to know you and the artist behind it. So,
yeah, for sure.
Just some Jew kid from Chicago.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Part of the tribe.
But, so what, aside from the show, how did you find, is this place in, you said Nebraska?
Yeah, the highest Cloud 9.
How does, like, do they reach out to you to, like, do a demonstration or, like, showcase there? Or?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's exactly how it happened. They made an order with me. I'm guessing stuff sold, quickly. And they were like, hey, we want to have you come out. I think they were lining up shows for the summer. And I think they have, like, quite a few lined up. So, yeah, they definitely are doing. I think they're trying to, like, step their smoke shop up. Bringing people out and just having like a more of a showcase kind of style going on over there. So yeah.
So like, that's cool. And good props to them. You know, it's I feel like it's kind of hard to break into that like upper tier of glass. Because like I didn't even know this world existed until 3 months ago, and like I went from seeing $50 pipes to seeing $7,000 rigs.
Get out there, yeah. Sorry, probably shouldn't smoke while we do this. I'm coughing. Yeah, they get up there. Yeah, this bud I got makes me cough a lot, so I should put that aside.
Yeah, but no, even a couple of years ago when I was smoking, I mean, I would look at the shelves and look at stuff, and you'd see a $300 piece, and it's like there's nothing to that, Like why would I spend $300 when I could buy the same identical thing for $50, And it's like I never got it, and then it's like okay, I'm starting to understand the $200, $300, $400 piece, but I don't understand that $30,000 piece. Like that's stupid to me. I would never. Well, like now that I started dabbling in the glass blowing for a little bit, like I get it. Like that shit is
they're
easy.
Insane.
So
you start getting to that price range, people are putting in I don't even know how many hours, like multiple days on some of those pieces.
And then it gets to a point where it's art.
So intricate. Oh, it absolutely is. A lot of that stuff should be in museums. Like those real top dogs out there, their stuff should be sitting in the Louvre, like right next to the Mona Lisa. Like I think the Mona Lisa's in the Louvre. I don't know.
It's not.
I have no clue.
Supposedly,
we're in one of them.
We're going off here, but supposedly, most of those paintings in like museums and stuff aren't even the real ones because they're like stolen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh really? I would imagine it would be really hard to steal a painting now.
Yeah, I guess like back in the day though, like it wasn't that hard, and like people would just replace them, and they have fake ones. So they're like supposedly, I don't know how true it is, but the Mona Lisa's floating around in some.
Hey, it's possible.
I heard that they just like had it still, but they didn't have the real one on display. Now that's what I've heard. I have no clue. I don't care.
I could see that too. Yeah, I could totally see that.
Well, that's like, the Declaration and Independence and all that. You can go see that in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. That's
Nicolas Cage already has it. Stole the original. Saw the whole film. Both of them.
You did it right on camera.
You filmed the thing. I don't know why he did it.
Speaking of, how much? What's the most expensive piece you've ever sold?
Well, that's like these newer pieces that I just put out at the show. So I sell everything that I do right now as wholesale. Like I did one direct sale last year. It was like super low key. It was just like somebody hit me up at like the right time. I just bought this color. I wanted to try it. They asked me if I had any. I wanted to make them a dragon out of it. I was like, yeah. Slid them on. So I don't really do direct. With that being said, the new big dragons I just made are between 1,000 and 1,100 retail.
That's crazy.
So I mean, they could be a little bit more, but on the regular, they're between 1,000 to 1,100 depending on the colors. And yeah, they can definitely go higher if I use like crushed opal or some really expensive like molten aura color. These things are almost $200 a pound. So
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane.
Did you think when you started you would be selling pieces for upwards of $1,000?
I mean, it was always the goal, honestly. Like when I first started, I worked with a kid who was my best friend for a long time, Adam B. Glass, and he passed away. But he used to make pieces that were like 1,000, and like the whole saying in glass blowing is like 1K, call it a day. I'm sure they say it in other places, but that's where I heard it first. So it was kind of like the joke where he could sell $1,000 piece and I couldn't. So I'd be like, fuck, I'm trying to get to that 1K and call it a day, like you know. So now it's like, yeah, it's like definitely was always a goal to be like, oh, if you can make like $1,000 in a day, like that's you're turning and burning, like keep doing it. So yeah, it's definitely a goal.
That's pretty. I've never heard that. Like I've never heard that saying before. But that's a pretty good goddamn saying. Like,
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, doing $1,000 a day, you're doing very well.
Absolutely. I mean, to make a $1,000 piece, you're probably putting like a decent amount of color into it. Especially me, like I'm using like the molten aura, like almost 200 a pound, and like stuff like that to get my piece to be that expensive. And I'm using like quite a lot of glass. Like those big dragons are almost a pound of color in them, which is quite a bit of weight for me to be moving around. I'm not too big here, just a little guy.
So when you say like crushed opal and stuff, are you burning that onto the piece?
Well, what it is it's like a synthetic opal that you can put in a glass. It's like I want to say it's like pure silica, or like 99% silica, and glass has silica in it. So it can like form with the glass and like keep its shape and like stuff like that. So like they crush it up into like a powder. You'll like put that in a tube and then put like black behind it, so it'll like really stick out. You can make it yourself and buy the crushed opal like powder and do the whole shebang yourself. A lot of people have been starting to make the Pret. It's usually the route that I go. Like Grandpa Glass or like Profound Opals, Profound Glass. They sell like a really, really high quality crushed opal tubing that's like just looks really good. Like so much in it, so much shimmer, and it's pretty expensive, but it's worth it.
We talked about Austin too last time, and kind of like love fangirl his art too, and I think he's an artist's artist, but I feel like you're still kind of finding your groove.
Austin's the man.
Yeah, I love Austin, but you're kind of finding your groove into also doing that too. I feel like you're only 8 years in compared to his 24, and you're riding the wave.
Yeah.
I'm trying, yeah. I'm definitely trying, I'm pushing. Yeah.
Paul said to turn your computer down just a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I got you. Sorry, I just got super close to the camera.
It's cool. Don't hit your nose.
Oh, you got me self-conscious. I already think I got a big nose.
That's not even that big. We have.
I know. No, I'm not. I'm just playing. It's not. I don't care.
Made me feel bad. So what? You excited about any projects you're working on lately, or?
I'm really just stoked for the show, to be honest. Like, I'm getting a few things out. Like, I was really stoked on Glass Vegas too. I sold to like a bunch of big shops. Like, Hetty Hawaii is like one of, if not the most like prestigious head shop. Like, a lot of people like go to them to buy their pieces, and they scoop a lot of like super heady pieces and do a good job at promoting and selling glass. So I was really excited to get stuff into them, like Planet Caravan too. Like I have orders from like a bunch of like bigger head shops that I'm like really excited to be in. And yeah, this show I'm like super excited. I'm gonna try and do collabs with as many Arizona artists that are willing to do them with me. Like I already talked to Hensley, Austin, and I've talked to Steve H. So I should be bringing out some heat.
That'll be sick. I'm kind of excited to see those pieces.
Let's do that collab when we come out.
I'm super excited to make them.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. We talked to Austin too after the podcast. We pretty much decided that we are coming to Arizona to hang out with you guys.
Yeah, do it. I'm not too far from Austin, and if you guys come out in the summer where it's cooler by him, you don't have to ask me twice to go out there.
Yeah, because it's like
although it is over a half-hour drive, so.
Oh yeah. It is over a half an hour, but it might be worth it to come hang out with you guys. I'll sacrifice.
That means something. You won't hook up with a girl, but you'll come hang out with us.
Oh yeah, half an hour is too far for a shouty, but for the homies is worth the drive.
Yeah, because in Arizona it's like 120 out there during the summer. Like it's hot as fuck.
It gets up there. Yeah, global warming is real. It's getting hotter every year.
All right, maybe we'll do the end of the year then.
come in
summer.
Come in December.
Dude, no, I think that's when you want to be in Phoenix, when it's like super nice out. Like,
yeah.
Sunny 65. Like,
oh, that's perfect.
You don't want to be up by him, dude. You'll get snowed in up there.
Oh, that's right. It does snow in Arizona, doesn't it?
Yeah, up by him, definitely. Yeah,
it's higher like the mountains.
Am I talking too loud? I feel like I always yell when I'm on speaker.
No, you're good.
All right.
I like your voice. It's very soothing.
Oh yeah, I feel the opposite. I hate my own voice.
Yeah, that was.
What do you guys feel about that? Since you guys do the podcast so often, you get used to it.
You always hate your own voice. You just get used to it.
So far,
yeah.
Like in the headset, we can hear ourselves talk, and it's something to get used to.
Oh, that's hard.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So far, everyone's pointed out that I have a weird lisp. I kind of talk out of the side of my mouth. I say like a lot. It's made me very self-conscious.
I mean, you don't do any editing on yours, huh? So you leave all your likes in there. You just eat them.
Yeah.
Yep, I said like 45 times.
Yeah, it just is what it is, But no, we try to stay away from editing. I mean, we will, if there's something that. See, now I'm self-conscious about it, and I'm really trying to focus on it.
I don't know why you pointed it out. Like I didn't. I wasn't going to.
But like a really just sincere conversation all the way through. Which is, I think, was a better decision for us to redo it anyways, because, you're chopping stuff up, and then they're like, well, what did they say there that sounded weird?
Yeah. When I'm looking over here,
sure.
and then all of a sudden I'm looking over here in a split second, like you could tell.
Yeah. Right? We'd all change clothes. Halfway through, just pause it, like change.
Well, I think at one point I got up to go get water, so. I'm there, and then just bam, I'm not.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a learning experience. It's and we've been finding, we started kind of glass blowing, and it's just you learn so much just doing stuff you're uncomfortable doing to begin with. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, glass blowing for sure. You have to especially at the beginning, you have to push what you feel comfortable with, to a certain extent. You always want to make sure you're starting out, that you're like lifting out of the torch once it starts to get too hot for you, but you should be trying to heat it up for like as much as you need to, at least, but all in one go without like coming out too much and like learn how to control the glass. It's fun. I remember trying to learn. It is fun. It's frustrating, but it's fun.
Yeah, like last 2 times I've done it, all I've done is just made big glass blobs, and everybody's like, "Well, are you gonna do something with that?" Like, I don't know what to do with it.
You're like, it is. It's finished. It's a glove.
He was
I was going for it.
trying to mix 2 colors together and just kind of twirling them both. Like, dude, what are you doing? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
it's
I don't
not
know.
easy
I'm
to
fucking
mix
around.
colors. You gotta really drill those things together to get like an actual blend out of glass colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it was just, it's fun to mess around for a bit, you know, but like, it's expensive. It's really expensive.
Yeah, it can get up there for sure. I mean, when you guys come up here, are you guys flying or driving, you think?
We'll
Probably
probably
fly.
fly and then rent a car.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe I'll I'll have to ship you guys out like a little care package of some scraps because I've got boxes of it, like color. And yeah, sometimes I decide a scrap is a scrap and the rod's still like pretty good size, and I'm just like, it's taking up too much space on my bench. Like if I'm just cleaning, I'm just like, I can't sit here and pick through all this. Like it's gonna take up too much time. I'll just dump it in a box. So
Take it all. You punty up to all that
Yeah.
shit.
yeah, let you guys
Just
run
sit
through
there
it,
and
have
shop
fun.
work.
Oh, we appreciate it.
Yeah, it helps. It definitely helps to have a lot of stuff on hand for sure.
So when, what did you start doing when you started blowing glass? Like, what was your first thing you kind of focused on?
First exercises I did was pulling stringers, and I just did nothing but pull stringers for a solid like month and a half. It was like, like they just gave me like a couple rods of like one color, and that's like what I would pull for the day. Like a couple apprentices, maybe like 2, 3, 4 different colors sometimes, but
Wow.
at first it was like literally just one color. Like they're like, here, take this like cobalt. It's like the easiest one to work, and just pull stringers of it, and it's a production shop, so they would use the stringers for hand pipes, so it was like getting used. So I didn't get paid for it, but I didn't get charged anything either.
Yeah, you were getting the experience.
Exactly, yeah, which helped a lot. So,
So when you got your own torch, what was like the first thing you made?
well, I worked there for quite a while, but yeah, when I did get my own torch, I brought it home and I tried to make a little Pokemon rig, a little Poliwhirl. And it did not come out like I thought. Like I was like, damn, like this is pretty good. It's pretty like somebody liked it the other day. I think I still have it somewhere, to be honest. And somebody went so far back on my Instagram and liked it, like maybe like a month or 2 ago. I was like, dude, I can't believe this. I like almost wanted to delete it. It was so ugly. But I was like, no, this is like what I tried to make, like in my
Where you
garage.
came from.
Yeah, so that was like a couple months in before I got my own torch. Like probably close to like a year in before I got my own torch. So
That's crazy. So you kind of just went like right into. You were like, "Nah, I'm just gonna blow rigs."
well, no, because for like all those months I was making hand pipes for the production shop.
Oh yeah.
So I went through all the steps. I pulled stringers, learned how to pull laddie cane, learned how to make clear, just straight like 25 mil tubing with a little puffed out head. Then I went on to like actually like condensing and shaping and like adding frit and stringers and inside out. Then so yeah, by the time I was making that rig, I like had a decent sense of what I was doing for the most part. Like not really welds apparently looking back at it. And definitely not seals. So like the downstem joint seal is like super fucked up. Like yeah, I mean it stands and it looks like a Poliwhirl. So
Oh fuck, that's all that matters at that
Yeah.
point.
it was a mission accomplished to me.
Yeah, I mean that's cool. Though. I mean you kind of knew what to do and you followed through with it, you know, and it got you to where you are today.
Yeah.
Shit, the
For
first
sure, yeah.
First thing I did when we turned the torch on is I made a smiley face and I left it on the punty so I could put it in a plant for my mom.
Hell yeah.
Like fuck it, I got
Yeah.
to make a circle and smash it, and then I got to add color for the
Yeah.
face and the eyes, and I mean it looks like
Yeah,
you can
that's-
tell it's a smiley face.
Just solid techniques to learn too. You know?
Yeah, the whole
I was doing all those at the production shop, just drawing on top of pipes and all the weird stuff that people would ask for.
And speaking of that too, like again, let's bring up Austin, but like his Sherlock pipes that he has, I don't know if you've ever seen them. They're so intricate with like the detail on them. Holy fuck, they're insane.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, he puts in like a lot of texture work, like all throughout all of his pieces. It's pretty crazy.
yeah. So those dragons that you do, we could bring it back again. I think Paul brought it again, but like that's
Oh, sweet.
you sculpt those too as well, right?
Yeah. So it's all sculpted. So that one is cold worked a bit. It's sandblasted, and then I do like my carvings and stuff for like the toes and
Let me see it.
mouth.
There's
But for the most part, it's not too carved up.
there's his Poliwhirl.
Oh, you found the Poliwhirl?
Yeah.
Well, here, real quick, we'll like it.
There you go. Give you a little like bump.
Take a look.
That's
Take a
pretty
look
cool.
at Poliwhirl.
that's really not that bad.
It's really not.
His feet are a little
Oh, yeah.
off and whatnot, but
Ace stands.
it stands, yeah. But
It was not easy to get it to
I
stand
don't
up.
know. If I blew something like that right now, I'd be ecstatic.
Yeah, dude, and I was.
Holy
I
shit,
really
look what I
was. When
did.
I made it, I was super ecstatic.
and it's dope
So
if
you're watching this.
if you still have it too. That's pretty dope. Like it's a nice like reminder. Like, hey, this is where I came from. From
Yeah,
that
I mean-
to this.
Yeah, for sure. I was hyped on it. Don't get me wrong, but I knew that I couldn't sell it. Like I knew that I was like, if I sell this to someone, they're gonna be embarrassed. Like they're gonna be like, dude, like look at this piece. It's terrible.
Yeah, Paul. But
Well, no, don't get me wrong. You gotta sell some stuff. You gotta sell stuff to keep funds in the pocket and rolling. And that's like, at the shows, I always buy something from like a smaller glass blower, like a Glass Vegas. I'll usually try and buy like a one hitter or like a pendant or something from somebody.
it's
Yeah,
hard.
people need to sell stuff to keep doing it, and I understand, like I've been there, like I've totally been like feeling like super down in the dumps about it and just being like, dude, I'm never gonna like get to the point where I'm selling my stuff for money, like super bummed out about this, like and then I put that shit aside and started working harder and it worked out for me, and Sean helped me out a lot, so Hendy Glass is like a huge help.
Just got to stick with it and keep working.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, push through those long, hopeless nights.
But as far as sculpting goes, when did you get into that?
I've always been interested in sculpting. I'm not very good at drawing, but for some reason, like sculpting into glass just like always looked really cool to me, and it kind of just made sense, like almost from like the get-go.
It does. And they look so cute. And
I
because
thought it made sense, but now I sculpt in a completely different way. So
after seeing the piece in person and talking, I went back and watched How to Train Your Dragon last week too.
You did.
Yeah. Yeah.
That movie's so good. The third one's definitely, I think, my favorite. He falls in love and shit. It's so adorable.
It's a really good movie. I like that a lot, and I like Cars a lot, and I've always wanted to make something that has to do with cars. So maybe one day I'll like do something crazy and try and make one of the
Mater.
cars.
Mater.
Mater would be so hard for sure. I think if I try it, I don't even want to say it. I want someone else to steal it. But I'll say it. I want to make Luigi, who's like the little like
the tire
Italian.
dude?
Yeah, the tire guy. Like,
That'd be so
I love
sick.
that dude. He's
Do
so
it.
funny.
That would be. So,
It would be a huge project. Like if I do that, it'll be like 2022 because I feel like that'll take me like a couple days, and I'll really want to do it like right and like put like a lot of hours into it. Like I'll probably try and cold work it and like sandblast and take a like Dremel to it and everything and give it like really nice features.
yeah, I definitely
see.
feel like that's a lot of work. And it doesn't seem like it
Yeah, it would
because
be a
like,
multi-day piece.
Yeah.
like looking at, because I can kind of see that in my head and it doesn't seem like that much, but to like work that with glass, like that's definitely not easy.
Yeah, and I'd really want to do it justice, like really like full detail. That's like a direction that I'm like kind of trying to go right now. Is like I'm really just trying to like make as much stuff that I can right now and slowly like acquire the tools that I want, which is like well, we have a sandblaster at the shop, but I really want to upgrade it, and I really want to buy like a lap wheel and a Fordham like Dremel tool, so I could start doing like some grail work and all kinds of like freehand stuff.
You know, it's crazy to me that the last time we talked, you were telling us how you were, you know, down on your luck and you didn't really know what to do, and you know, every day's Friday, and here you are like talking about growing your business bigger and like doing better and sculpting better.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me that all it took was for you to find your passion and just apply yourself to it.
For sure. Well, yeah, like I was saying, again, a lot of that was Sean just kind of being like, yo, like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, you need to, like he's like, you can blow glass, so you need to, like, fucking just learn how to do it, like, the proper way and, like, learn how to, like, build shit and, like, how to put shit together. So, yeah, he's definitely helped me, like, I really can't express how much he helped me out, like, you know, I'm saying I knew how to blow glass, but he really pushed me to, like, do it better and like just do it more often.
That's what are you guys laughing at?
Can you not hear the train?
I hear the train.
Like, dude, it's been going. It's still going.
I hear the
Like,
train.
dude.
It's a train, I can't do it.
Okay, so the reason they're laughing about this is our town had this big thing, and like every housewife was complaining about the train horn, because where we live, that's the worst possible thing that could happen in our town.
Yeah.
Is train horns can go off. So they did like a petition, and now like they're not supposed to blow their horns in our town.
And there's signs everywhere like, "Oh, look both ways. No train horn." And like, I swear to God, they blow it more.
Yeah,
Like,
so like
probably.
I feel like the trains do it more often now.
like we never ever used to hear
What's
it on
gonna
the
happen?
podcast.
Like the cop gonna pull them over? Like, oh, you're like honking your train horn. Like, you're not allowed to do that in this county.
It's so ridiculous. But
Like,
anyway, it's nice to have someone like Sean to like mentor you and kind of push you in that direction too.
yeah, definitely. It's super helpful.
Because sometimes you lose faith in yourself, and you're like, well, you know, I've hit my peak. But then someone's always like, no, this is not your peak. Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, he's like a super motivational guy. Like, he's self-motivated like crazy, and he likes to like motivate other people. You know, I guess if he likes them. I don't know. But he definitely does for me, so.
Yeah, no, and it's good to have people like that around, because here you are with the company you keep.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
You can't sit around someone that has that energy to them, you know? You feel like,
Sure.
feel worthless almost, like, damn, man, he's moving
And,
around,
you know,
I'm not. Like,
yeah, and I lived with, you know, Desi D Glass, like I was saying, and he was like the same way. Like, he's like, dude, fucking, what are you doing, man? Like, we work in this garage together, we live together, like, fucking come work, man, like, work. And I was like, oh, it's too hot, like, oh, like, all these excuses. And, you know, it really helped that Sean also sculpted. Then, you know, like, I went to Israel and I came back and I was like, all right, I'm going to start sculpting again. Like, I need to start sculpting, because I was making, like, just mini tubes, which is, everyone makes mini tubes. It's hard to, like, stand out when you do mini tubes. So, yeah, I started sculpting more. And then Sean, who also sculpted, was like, oh, like, you want to come by? Like, I'll help you out. So, yeah.
I think that
I don't want to.
I think that was a good
Desi
decision.
watches this, he's gonna be like, "Yo, motherfucker, I told you to work too."
I think that was a right decision, because I feel like sculpting, that's a lot of people are going to that, and then even like more so in the small, like cheaper pieces, it's a lot more intricate than just your typical like beaker bong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's like appealing to your like senses. I feel like when you can like kind of relate it to something. Like, whether it's like actual character that you can relate to, like that you've seen before, or if it's like a fresh new character, you can still be like, oh, it's whatever. Like the bunnies I make, like a lot of people like oh my god, I love these bunnies. I was like, fuck yeah, like all of them too. Like buy a bunch of them.
Now, how much are those gonna sell for? The bunnies.
Those guys are gonna be between like 6 to 650, like just kind of plain. Then I do like another one with like a t-shirt and shoes, and those guys are gonna be like around 850.
Okay, I mean that's so crazy to me because I don't smoke, so like it's all art
like
to me.
dude, it's like to me like it's an expensive piece, like for sure. I'm like, yo, this is it's a little expensive, and like smoke shops are like, no, like that's perfect for us. That's perfect for us. I'm like, okay. So apparently there's a good market for that price range.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's from what I see on some of like the Facebook groups I see too. Like there are some where they're like, selling the 6K piece, but most of the stuff is like 400 to 700. I think that's like the pretty going rate for.
And even like $1,000, even today, like it's not super ridiculous anymore.
Yeah, the economy's definitely doing better. I feel like I know a lot of people who've been doing better through COVID than, especially like glass artist wise, like. Pretty much all my glass artist friends are like, dude, I'm fucking so booked and killing it, crushing it. Like, like I was like, as Desi, I was like, yo, are you going to go to Las Vegas this year? He's like, I don't even have time, dude. Like, I have too many orders. I was like, all right, hell yeah, kill it.
Wow.
So,
I mean, hey, it's a good problem to have, though.
it is, yeah. It's definitely is a good problem to have. So yeah, we'll see what happens in the future, because usually when everyone when there's like really high like this, the bubble will burst eventually.
Well, I think it's gonna help too, because like Illinois legalized it, and once more states legalize it and it becomes more mainstay, I feel like there's gonna be a lot more interest in doing stuff like this, and a lot of these new people are gonna look up to you guys, you and Austin, and then Sean and guys that you're talking about, and be like, this is where they came from, like let's mold what we do off of them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, glass blowing really, I mean, as far as pipe making goes, it's really not that old in the industry. Like, you think back to who would be like, like we were talking earlier about like the Mona Lisa, like who's like the Da Vinci and like Michelangelo and like those people like in the glass industry. It's like those people are still alive right now. Like,
yeah.
It's like fresh, like 100 years from now, like it's gonna be, if it keeps going, like who knows what's gonna be. They're going to be making, who knows what kind of like money they're going to be able to get for these pieces that are being made now. Like 100 years from now, like banjo dry pipe could be worth like 300 grand, or like, these pieces that could very well end up sitting like in the Louvre too. Like,
yeah.
That's weird, really weird to think about too. Like, because everything that you use on a daily, that could be worth so much more 50 years from now, like even in your own lifetime.
It's insane,
like,
yeah.
And like, what should I hold on to, or what shouldn't I hold on to, or
I think that's why a lot of people justify spending, $20,000-$30,000 on these pieces. That they're like, yo, man, like this is gonna be worth like, infinite amounts, to my grandchildren.
Yeah, it's like an investment collector's piece to them.
Yeah, I mean, it really is like, buying a Michelangelo right now almost. Like, it's like, oh, like, bought this from Michelangelo on the side of the street for 10 pence or whatever money they had then.
Yeah,
I don't know how long ago that was.
No, that is.
I just found out Salvador Dali was not that long ago. He died in like the 80s.
I don't even know who that is.
Neither do I.
Salvador Dali? Like the painter who did like the melting clocks.
Oh. I know.
Like the weird ass mustache.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah,
know.
that dude died in like late 70s or like early 80s or something. Like it wasn't that long ago.
That's the same thing with Picasso. Picasso died in what, like the 90s, or like the fucking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was not. He was during our time. Like, goddamn.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It doesn't seem like it.
Not at all. The first time I saw that, I was like, no, that's definitely not right.
Same with like Andy Warhol. Like Andy Warhol was big in like the 70s, but he's like definitely still rocking in our time.
Picasso died in 73, but still, that was not necessarily that long ago.
That was within my dad's time.
No, maybe maybe that's what I looked up. Maybe Dali didn't die in 73. Or what did I say?
What did you say?
Maybe it was Picasso. Because he died in 89.
That's crazy. That's so wild to
Yeah.
think of. And those paintings are
Oh, he died in
so
89.
iconic.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. So yeah, like I feel like investing in these guys now can truly pay off in the future.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, like, man, I remember shit when I turned 18, like walking into, a head shop or smoke shop, it was nothing but like, just like I said, beaker bongs or straight bongs. There was nothing like there is today.
Yeah,
And like,
for sure. Especially in Arizona, it was like you could buy like a Zong or like a Blue Dot. Those were like your options.
Yeah, Zong was real big when we were growing up.
yeah. It's
Yeah, I
just
think
crazy.
they're based out of here in Arizona. So
And like
like,
the
all
expensive
over.
the expensive pieces were like Roar and like the Cheech bong, the Cheech and Chong bongs.
Yeah. Yeah, the roars were. I remember a huge deal. Everyone's like, "Oh, I got a roar."
Yeah, we
It's probably fake.
I bought one. Fuck, I was 18 for $250, and we still have it today. Still perfect,
Yeah.
and everyone says it's always
yeah.
it's like the best piece they've smoked out of, and like it's quality fucking glass. It's lasted
Oh, I've
10
cleaned it
years.
so many times.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you treat it right, it lasts quite a while.
And that's kind of like not necessarily a downfall to stuff like what you blow and stuff, but it's just very intricate, so you have to be that much more careful with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's my insurance plan right there. You break it, you're gonna have to buy a new one. But yeah, no, I feel like like my minis and like my bigger ones both have been, as far as the dragons go, like a little bit more sturdy. That's why I've been like super hyped on like making these rabbits, and like the samurai rabbit, which is kind of based off of Miyamoto Usagi, like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles character. Yeah, I've been really hyped on those because I feel like they stand just like a little bit more sturdy than the dragons. Like the dragons, like they stand well,
But they just
they're
have that-
intimidating.
yeah, they have that.
Intimidating to a lot of people. Like they sit on two legs. I didn't want the tail touching the ground. Like I wanted them to be like a little like young
Perched.
funky little dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right though. It does. It only has 4 points of contact with the. It has its claws and that's it. That's all it's touching the ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's. I mean, it stands.
Yeah. 8 points.
Like 8 points.
Yeah.
It stands and it's even. Like the head isn't. It's not. The weight is distributed very well.
And each point touches
Yeah.
the same amount on on the table.
It's definitely something I had to work on, was finding that right point of balance on them. Like, I remember the first ones I made, I put in and out of the kiln, like readjusting the legs, like probably each one at least one time.
Yeah,
So,
I bet
I really had to find that point of balance on them.
they are super cute though. I like their underbite. It's really adorable.
Thank you. Yeah, I do too. I love those pieces.
Yeah, they're cool. So aside from the Luigi's piece and the bunny, you got anything else that you kind of like hidden away that you want to kind of do as your main piece later on?
There is like this little like goblin character that I made. I've tried it twice. They both broke, and then one I gave to my buddy, and he broke it more. He breaks every piece of glass I give him. I think we talked about that last time, but yeah, he broke that. Just I knew it was gonna happen. Anything I give him gets broken. So yeah, I gave him that. It was already cracked, but yeah. So I really want to go back to it. It's a tough piece for me. Like it's decently sized, and ideally it needs to be thick because the piece is like a little business guy, and like it's basically like just one tube, and he's got his arms and his feet sticking out. But I put him in like pants, and to sculpt pants, like they need to be like somewhat thick. Like working with thin glass like can really like screw you over when you're making the pants. So
Yeah.
it's a tough one.
Just working with glass just does not seem easy to me. I've only done it twice, but like it just seems like such a long journey to get where you've gotten.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it's been a pretty long journey, and I know I have like a long way to go to get to like a lot of these guys. Like I was actually just looking today at like Ghost Glass, who's like an incredible, like one of the top sculptors for sure. I was looking at like his pants designs, and yeah, they're. I was like, damn, like how is he getting these like insane detail and like just like such a good like look of it, like like fluidity of like a natural like jeans look and glass. It's crazy.
And you said that's Ghost Glass?
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to look at
yeah.
that.
He's out of Chicago, I want to say.
No shit.
Yeah.
He was actually, at least when I went to Chicago to visit my grandpa, I like rented studio time for a day there at a smoke shop called the Mausoleum. And Ghost was working out of that studio in the back of that smoke shop. And yeah, kind of got him. Like, I really wish I would have just, instead of like even blowing glass, I should have just sat there and watched it the whole time. Like, whatever I would have paid for that torch time would have been worth it for me to just watch what he was doing.
That's cause you reminded me of like that fluidity. I don't know if you've ever seen like the marble statues where they like show like there's depth in the statue where you can see like touch
Yeah.
and like that's so amazing to me that people can do that.
Dude, same. And it's same with in glass. Like, it's really hard to get that. Like, kind of feel like I'm starting to get it with the Miyamoto Usagi pieces. You know, I really want to like start trying to like more like the t-shirt area, like the belly. I kind of want the t-shirt to like look like it's hanging loose around the belt more. But I feel like for the pants, like I'm kind of starting to get the idea of like, oh, okay, this is how you get it to like really look like it's fully moving in like the correct direction, a natural direction. Which again, Sean helped me out with a lot on that.
Yeah, see, you're lucky to have someone like that around you.
Yeah, it helps a lot.
Yeah, super lucky. He says the same thing. He's like, man, you're lucky you don't have to like do all the stuff that I have to do. I fucked it up, so you don't have to. Is basically what he says.
Yeah.
One of our buddies from Florida came up, and he's been doing it for a couple of years now, and he gave us a quick, like real quick. We had about 8 hours with him, and he just real quick ran us through a couple different things and said, "Here you go," you know. And it does. He skipped a lot of steps for me as far as all the mistakes I would have made. He corrected them on the spot. Don't even make it a habit. I found out I was spinning the wrong way. Like, oh shit.
Oh,
how about that?
That'll help. Yeah, you gotta spin towards you for sure. Yeah, it'll help. But yeah, man, like definitely watching those videos, anyone blow glass will like totally fucking help, because you could just by watching them, you'll see what they're doing, and if you more or less like copy the basic ideas of what they're doing, like you should kind of like figure out, and you will definitely avoid a lot of mistakes.
I think that's, and Nick learns trial by error, so he has to do everything the hard way, literally everything. Whereas
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Whereas I can watch somebody do something, and like as long as I see it or somebody like explains it to me in a way I understand, I can do it for the most part, and then I just have to work on the technique and do it, which I'm so thankful I learned that way. it's a blessing.
Yeah, no, my way sucks. It's expensive.
I have to see it like more than once.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
like a lot of the times, like someone does something, I'll be like, oh, like I'll remember one part and be like, wait, how do I get to that part that I remember? Like, fuck.
And repetition too. You got to practice it. I didn't hop on the torch for about a week and a half after he left, and I tried to reiterate what he did, and I got about halfway through and froze. Like,
it's a huge thing that I always do when someone teaches me something on the torch. I always make sure I immediately hop on my torch and do that thing that they just showed me. Otherwise, I'll forget certain parts.
Yeah, it just wasn't in the cards at the time.
They're right there. Yeah, and they're right there, so you'll be like, "Hey, what did you do again?"
Well, no, he did. I did. I blew my own one by myself, and then I went back to try to do another one, and just fucked it all up.
Yeah. Yeah. If you guys ever need any questions, let me know. I'll do what I can for you.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
We'll bother you instead of Austin now.
You can split up between us. We won't be a bother to either of us that way.
And we kind of talked last time too. We talked about like coins, like making like glass coins,
Yes.
Yeah,
and it
and
gave us
Marcel Braun kind of does that though.
we
He like, I don't know. He's got like a crazy like system. I don't fully understand how it works.
we kind of kicked around the idea. We have to go back and ask Austin too. If you have the time to begin with, and if you're interested, we would like if you would blow a coin for us, and we could put it in our studio.
Okay, we could do something.
Obviously, we'll pay for it too. You know, we don't expect anything
Yeah,
for free.
no, for sure.
But,
I got you guys.
Definitely, you know, it doesn't have to be some massive giant coin. You
Just
know,
something
but like,
to remember this podcast and us doing this and throw it up. in
Oh,
the
yeah.
podcast room.
get some of your art in our studio.
Absolutely. Yeah, that would be sick.
Yeah.
For sure.
You know, no offense, we can't really afford $1,000 piece right now.
No.
Dude, I can't afford one either. I don't think most glass blowers can afford their own pieces, to be honest. Like, I'm about to make a order now that I'm like kind of back in my studio. I'm looking at the color that I have, and I'm like, oof! Like I'm about to spend a lot of money on color. like great show. Like time to spend almost all that money on color now, which is fine because I don't mind. I love having color.
Yeah, are you a big color guy? Like,
Yeah, I try and I've got a few rarities. I've got some gun mount color, and I've got like a decent amount of gun mount. Yeah, and then I try and hang on to like some of like the more rare, expensive colors.
what's your favorite color to work with?
Oh, it's such a tough one. I tend to use a lot of transparent purple. Like I just naturally do. Those pastel potions and pastel serum, and they just made a new pastel color. I think it's like voodoo. I haven't used that one yet, but yeah, the pastel colors are pretty great.
I've been really liking any of the milky colors. They just turn out nice. I like them.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, yeah. Like Glass Alchemy makes a lot of good colors, but I always seem to have issues with like them being like a slightly off shade. Which I'm like, ooh, I can't start a coil pot with this stick and then finish it with this stick because it's like I can visually see two different shades of colors.
Yeah.
Like that's been kind of like annoying, and their color is a little bit more expensive. But I love North Star Glass. Like most of their colors have been like really good for me. Like they have jet black and they have secret white, which I'll take that back. I would have to say my favorite color right now, personally, is secret white. I love that color.
It's always sold
Dude,
out.
it's so sick. Oh, really?
I can't find it. Well, and it's
sold out.
always there when I don't have the money. How about that?
Right. That's how it works, yeah. I think I usually buy like at least 2 pounds at a time of secret white because I don't want to not have it. I love that color.
Yeah,
like,
you're the asshole.
yeah, it's me. I got all, no. There are people out there that'll buy like 10, 15 pounds at once. Like,
Oh,
it's crazy.
I think I bought my whole order with punties and everything was only 70 pounds. I thought I was really badass at the time. Nah.
Dude, that's a good sized order, man.
Oh, it was a good size order, but
It's crazy.
Yeah, hey, if it lasts you.
Yeah, well, that's what I was about to bring up too. Is it's crazy like how fast you actually go through glass too. Like, it's fast.
It is, yeah. Yeah, I was always like, before I was like sculpting, I was doing like a lot of like blowouts, which is like I blow like a tube of color into a tube of clear, so it would, like I could use like one stick of color and have enough color for like a full tube, like the whole tube and the neck and the downstem and like a couple attachments or something. I'd really stretch the color out. Now it's like I'm using full color on all my pieces, and I'm like, oh man, like this is like 4 sticks of color into like half the piece, and I'm just like, oh man, like this is killing me in the inside. Like before I was like trying to use as little as possible, and now I'm just like,
Fuck it.
I guess I'll just keep using like everyone likes the more expensive like headier colors. Like just have to keep throwing these in here, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so much. Like it gives me anxiety.
What makes a piece or a color heady?
I don't know. I guess it's not a heady color.
Well,
A heady piece is like a headpiece is You'd have to ask someone who's been in the game longer than me.
Because
But it's just kind of like a more intricate. Usually, I feel like a sculpted piece, but not always, I guess, because there's plenty of heady mini tubes like
And yeah, that's
Kevin Murray
like,
makes
I don't mean to
flips.
call you out for using it, because I understand what you mean
Oh,
by heady.
totally, yeah.
Because everybody, it's like a term that's been adopted in the last couple of years to explain glass. Like, dude, that's heady as fuck.
For sure.
But like, what makes it heady?
Yeah, I think it was literally like a headpiece was just like
Using Velcro
something that was like,
on the
I don't know. Probably has something to do with like deadheads or some shit like that.
Yeah,
I'm not into like the scene at all. Like, I don't listen to jam band music really, so I don't know anything about
It's weird to think
if
how
it
much
correlates.
that band itself has influenced an entire culture.
Dude, an entire culture that spreads throughout like psychedelic users to weed smokers to just dads that like to play the ukulele or whatever they do.
It's
I don't know. I have no idea what instruments they even play. I just assume they have a ukulele.
It's absolutely insane, and it's such a huge brand that like Nike collabs with them and they release shoes that are like 20 grand. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like Nike collaborates with like Grateful Dead, and Grateful Dead's like, we'll have to see if that's good for our image. Like,
I'll
working
see
with
if
a
I can
corporate,
pencil you.
Yeah, but
working
then
with a corporate sponsorship.
you can go to like, you know, the knockoff Spencer's and Hot Topics, and then they have like knockoff Grateful Dead clothes that's like $10 a shirt. Like, where's the
Dude.
middle here?
There is none.
That's so crazy.
The middle is buying it from them at their shows, and it's probably like just as expensive as Nike.
Yeah, probably. But we've had you for an hour.
Oh yeah,
I think what we're gonna do is I'm also gonna tag on some of the funny stories to the end of this, like 'cause
sweet.
they were good. But same applies. You know, if you don't like, I think we stuck way more on topic this time.
Yeah, no, we definitely did. Yeah,
I
Yeah.
actually learned about glass blowing today.
we definitely did.
So you know, I thank you. I'll get it, you know, to you as soon as possible. But again, you know, we appreciate you
Sure.
coming back instead of just being like, no, fuck you, unprofessional assholes.
No way, dude. I could have done that. You guys would have been like, "Hey, you're not that professional." You're like, over there for that conversation.
Oh, you want to blow us off? We'll release this.
Yeah, right.
But no, thank you very much. Yeah, and you know,
No, I appreciate you guys letting me come back on and not being like, "Dude, we just spent an hour talking to you. Like, why didn't you just, be more professional the first time?" We're just having a lot of fun, dude. We went way off topic. And yeah, that was, I feel like, really, if anyone's listening to this, like, that was the only unprofessional part. Like,
Yeah.
if you're wondering, like,
We-
hey, like,
we
what are we talking about? We just went way off topic. I think we talked about presidents. Did we talk about Andrew Jackson? Dude, I am obsessed
Yeah, we
with
talked
Andrew
about all
Jackson.
types of shit.
We got on a podcast with a glass blower and didn't talk about glass blowing.
Yeah, basically is what
The
happened.
only
yeah.
thing I want to bring up is the fact about your dad selling the car.
Oh.
Yeah, your John Wayne Gacy story.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that was. Should I retell it? Is that what you're saying?
I'll-
We could leave it for the end.
I'll throw it on because
We'll throw it in. Yeah,
the first reaction was the
It'll be
best
better.
one.
Yeah.
perfect.
But yeah, thank you.
Perfect.
You know, when you get some time, like I said, you know, we don't have any expectations or out of a coin. You know, if you just want to throw us something together and send us a fucking invoice for it, we'll
Yeah, for
send you
sure.
some money. We would love to have some of your art in
Yeah.
the studio.
Yeah, definitely. I got you guys.
All right, man. Well, if you don't like this one, we'll do it again next week.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, man. Well, you have fun. You know, as always, don't burn your nose on the torch, and
I'll try my best.
get to work. And good luck at your showcase in
Yeah.
Nebraska. Hope that all goes well for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, man. You have a good night.
Okay. You
Take it
too. Be
easy.
safe.
Bye.